Hi guys, so basically this is our third video. If you have not seen our previous two videos, I recommend that you go and view it. So basically in this week we will be covering on these two objectives, which is how to output and how to input, right? Now having this output is to display something onto the screen, and input is asking the user to enter something into our program. So as output we will use our command cout, and as input we will use our command cin. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go to our Dev C++ here as our IDE. Let's type in the skeleton of the C++ program. Those of you who do not know the skeleton, I recommend that you view the previous videos. Last week we actually talked about variables and constants, and before that we talked about the C++ skeleton. So in this week we'll be talking about how to display something onto the screen and how the user will enter something into the program. So we have our hash include iostream, then we have our int main, okay, and we have a return 0. Alright, so example, let's say an example of a program is the program asks the user to enter the name, and me, being the user, will enter my name onto the screen, right? So let's do it together. So we have std cout. This is basically how you write or display something onto the screen. Alright, so first we have std, which basically refers to standard cout. Long form of cout is console output. Cout is a command that we use to display something onto the screen. So we have cout, and we have that symbol there, and within our quotation marks we will put what we want to display onto the screen. So in this case I will ask the user to enter the name. So in here I have said std cout, the symbol, and then within the quotation marks is where I have typed what I want to display onto the screen. So in this case I have asked the user to please enter your name. So likewise you will use the same symbol here, okay, you'll use the same symbol over here, and you will repeat the same step std, just in place of cout you will put endl, which basically refers to end line. So that line will end, and from there onwards it will continue on the it will begin on the new line. So then we have same thing, std cin. You have to notice this, right? In cout we use this symbol, and in cin we use another symbol. So for input we will store it in a variable called name. Now for us to store it in a variable called name, we have to declare variables, right? This is actually a variable called name, which we haven't declared yet, and now we have to declare that variable name. Now in our previous video we discussed on variables and data types, right? So in here you have to find a suitable data type that will match the variable, whether it will be a double, whether it will be a string, whether it will be an integer. It's up to you, right? But you have to, as a programmer, you have to think of it logically, and in this case a name is a string. A string is a collection of characters, so we will declare it as a string. So we will have string, and our variable name which we have used here is name. So on line 5 we have declared a variable which has a name and a data type string. On line 7 we have said std cout, asking the user to please enter their name, and as input whatever the user enters into the program, whatever the user enters will be stored in this variable name. Okay, so let's do this together. Let's run this program. While it is executing, sorry, yes, basically the program is asking the user to enter their name. So I will enter name as John. Alright, and when I press enter, the program will close. So basically it is doing what we want our program to do. So in our first line, in our line 5, we have declared a variable called std string name, right? This std is basically a standard which we use whenever we declare, in this case whenever we declare a variable of type string, only for type string, right? For cout and cin also we use std. in for variable type string. Remember that, okay? For other variable types such as integer, double, in that case we do not use the std in our declaration of variables. So we have asked the user to enter the name, and as input the user has entered the name. Now let's just take it to another step and let's just output what the user has entered. So in quotation marks is whatever that will be displayed onto the screen. My name is, and we have done this, right? So line 7 states std cout, please enter your name. As input the user entered the name, and in line 9 we have stated my name is name. So when the user has entered the name, example in my case I have entered John. John is stored, the whatever I have entered is stored in this variable. So I have entered John is stored in the variable name, and in line 9 I'm displaying, I want to display that, right? So I am displaying my name is John. In place of name it will be John. Alright, so when I run this program it should work, and it does work. It's taking some time though. Ask the user to enter the name. I enter my name and it prints my name is Francis, right? It does exactly what we want the program to do. I hope you guys have understood this concept of cout and cin. In the next video most probably we'll be discussing on a little bit on functions. Okay, so see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.